Hi, Brandon.
Hello, how are you?
Good to meet you. My name's Mike Dolce. I'm a writer for AMNY New York, and also a huge fan. Love you guys. Seen you guys a whole lot of times. So this is an honor and a privilege to be able to talk to you.
Right on, man. Thank you.
You got it. Real quick side note before we begin. I love all. I mean, I've loved Incubus's work for years now. Light Grenades. Right around the time Light Grenades came out, I was going through a heck of a breakup in a relationship. So that album in particular was like my theme song. Oil and Water, Diamonds and Coal, Kiss to Send Us Off. All those songs were just. I mean, it was. Definitely had an impact on me. So just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you so much.
So, but let's talk Sons of the Sea. Let's get into this now. You're touring. It's kind of been described as a musical project. What exactly is Sons of the Sea in terms of a musical project?
Well, it's one of those things that I didn't really know what it was going to be until we kind of finished an album, and then we put the album out. And right when I think I know what it is, it seems to morph and change into something else. So, but that's in my heart of hearts. That's what I always wanted it to be. Was something that kind of transcended any real, easily defined thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the intention, I guess that's the right word.
Yeah.
The intention is for it to be a very kind of open-ended, revolving door musical project, one
Okay.
that could appear in many different incarnations and be as versatile as possible.
Okay, so not necessarily a solo record in that sense, because that was the one thing I was almost confused at. I said, "Boy, is it a new solo record or is it something more?" And it sounds like it's something more than just a solo record.
I think it is something more, yeah, because and it was the album part of it was very much a collaborative effort with Brendan O'Brien. It was I did my kind of thing, quote unquote. I wrote the lyrics and the melodies and that's where I kind of that's my area of expertise, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Brendan, but putting my head together with Brendan. Brendan's also a very good singer and he and a fantastic musician to boot. So
Yeah.
The two of us got to basically in private just go kind of nuts in the studio and come up with this weird brand of kind of oddball pop, we've been calling it.
Well, that leads me into my next question. What did Brendan O'Brien? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Brendan O'Brien. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, so I mean, I've definitely studied his career. What did he bring to the table? And I guess you kind of answered that, but if you could even go into further, how the process worked with him.
Yeah, I had a ton of musical and lyrical ideas that I brought in, and if it was just like a lyric idea with a basic melody, I would I'd record it into my iPhone recorder, and then Brendan would sit with it, or I'd sing it for him or something, and then he would sit there with a guitar or on a keyboard or something and kind of create music around it.
Oh wow, okay.
Like a vehicle for the lyrics and for the melodies and things like that. And there were moments too when we'd meet up and he'd be like, I wrote this thing on the piano last night. Case in point is a song called Space and Time. There's the main piano riff in the verses, and he showed that to me, and it was like it immediately sparked these ideas, these lyrical ideas, these melodic ideas, and that's how you know when something is going well, when you hear it the first time and ideas start to arrive immediately.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. I listened to the album. I think it's fantastic. It really, it's different. I mean, it's definitely different, but it's still you at the same time. But it's definitely got that, that range that I wasn't quite expecting. Like Jet Black, that stood out to me. What are some of the standout tracks to you?
That one is a lot of fun to me. There's a track called Avalanche that I think is really cool. It almost has like a musical theater kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
There's Lady Black was actually the first track that Brendan and I wrote together, and that was the first one we wrote, and then the first one we recorded, and when that one was finished, we started to get kind of excited about the idea of continuing, and for a very brief second, I thought that the rest of the record would kind of have that vibe, like Lady Black did, and then everything, therefore, it just started sounding different, and then different again, and so we just had it was a blast.
Pluses and minuses. I really took to also on the first couple listens. That one had a nice one too. I really enjoyed that track as well.
Thanks, man.
I enjoyed a lot of it. I got to be honest. I wasn't sure what to expect. But this definitely. Is there a certain freedom to recording solo versus recording as like the brand Incubus or or what people would expect an Incubus record to be? Is there talk about the freedom that goes into being able to kind of do whatever you want.
There's I wouldn't even call it freedom. I definitely feel a sense of freedom when I write songs in general, whether it's with my friends in the band Incubus or on my own. That's kind of the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
Music is music and art, I should say, in a larger sense. That they're vehicles towards liberation. They set us free. They allow us to express ourselves and express sentiments that sometimes mere words can't really capture.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that sense of freedom just if I'm writing in general. But I think probably the main difference with when I'm writing things away from Incubus is that I'm not running them through 4 or 5 other ears.
Yeah.
Or filters, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what makes Incubus sound like Incubus is the fact that we all kind of like have our separate musical influences and musical filters and ideas, and we bring them together in the middle, and then just sort of shake them up. And then that's what comes out. With Sons of the Sea and my other solo stuff, it's much more singular, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, I've been in bands for years, so the democratic process of being in a band is definitely, I didn't, I remember taking something to a drummer once and being like, and I drum, and I said, I'm picturing this beat, like I recorded it this beat, like, and then he completely changed it up, and it was in such a great way that the song completely, became something different. But in a solo record, I guess, is there a difference with that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's like on my first actual solo record, The Wild Trapeze, it was very, very sort of insular. It was all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
For like 95% of it, and it was interesting for me as an artist to hear kind of exactly what I sound like when I'm left to my own devices. Sons of the Sea, for better or worse, but Sons of the Sea wasn't quite a solo record though. Sons of the Sea was very much like a collaboration between Brendan O'Brien and I, and it was surprising in a lot of the same ways as when you have this musical idea and you kind of have a vague vision of what you think is going to sound like at the end of the road, and then you invite in a different artist with different capabilities and talents and stuff, in case in point Brendan O'Brien, and you just get completely surprised and blown away at where the song went from where you thought it was going to go. And then sometimes an idea that you weren't even crazy about, and then he's like, hey, you got any ideas today? I'm like, yeah, there's this thing, but I'm not that crazy about it. And he'll hear it and be like, that's amazing. All of a sudden, this thing that you were like, it's not really a thing, becomes like a song that is one of your favorites you've ever written. So
Right. Is there anything that got left off? Anything that was just too weird or too undeveloped that you want to talk about?
Nothing really worth talking about. There were a handful of songs that got recorded and kind of finished, but then they just weren't as strong.
Yeah.
Some of the other, so there's a handful of ones that got left behind, so to speak.
Okay. I love the quote I read from you. It's there's no end in creativity. Hence to strive towards an end result is a fool's errand. Set goals, make music, and paint pictures, but know that the crux of your happiness balances delicately on the wings of the act of creativity itself, not at the finish line. I love it. I really do. As an artist myself, it's exactly, it defines creativity.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, is that? I don't know if it's really a question. I really just love the quote. I think it sums everything up, and that's the feeling I got when I listened to Sons of the Sea. So I'm really I'm excited about the live performance, and I'm wondering what you have in mind for the live performance of this.
Well, it's going to be one of those things that it's at the moment, we actually I'm starting rehearsals with this. It's a full band that I'm bringing out on the road, and starting rehearsals with them this week, actually.
Okay.
And there's a big part of me that is nervous and kind of freaked out. I've never really been in another band before.
Right.
And the guys that are playing in the band are all crazy good musicians. They're like assassins of the keys and of the drums, and it's going to be super fun to hear them kind of interpret these songs that I obsessed over for a long time. But the thing that I'm kind of just like trying to stay in right now is the thing that you just mentioned. Just like don't try and get you can very easily get caught in that it needs to sound perfect kind of thing. And what I need to do is let go at this point. Trust that to these people that I've brought in know what they're doing probably a lot more than I ever will as far as technicalities of music is concerned. They're going to interpret these songs beautifully, and so I'm mostly just excited to hear these songs live. I've never heard them live before. It'll be the first time, because we're going to do a lot of stuff from Wild Trapeze as well.
That's exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, man. It's going to be fun.
So fast forward a year from now, tour's over. What's the future? What's the look back and what's the future for you?
Well, I honestly don't really project that far into the future. There's a gig I'm going to be doing this summer that I'm not really at liberty to talk about yet.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone will be finding out about it soon enough. That's going to be all summer.
Oh, wow, okay. I'll keep that one off the record.
Yeah, so a year from now, hopefully I will be happy, healthy, and looking at my dog Bruce where he is right now, which is napping in the sunshine on the floor. I have simple desires for the most part.
That's fantastic. No, it's been ice cold over on the East Coast. I'm in right outside New York City, so
I'm sorry.
I know. I hope I'm in the exact same spot a year from now. That'd be great. Well, Brandon, this has been like I said, a real thrill, a real pleasure for me. I almost wish we had more time, but at the same time, I do appreciate the time you've given me today. And
Thank you too, brother.
Absolutely, and I'll be at the Irving Plaza show, so it'll be really exciting. Definitely can't wait to hear.
Right on, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks a lot.